Good morning. Welcome to Dornbush download number 207. Morning, Dan.
Morning, Michael.
Dan, you've been looking at a few charts.
I've really, it's really interesting. I'll get Brendan to put the charts up, but you've seen that ASX 200 chart, Michael, where we go back to 1992 on it, and it's been in a real channel through that time, and it busted out with the GFC, and then it came back down to the bottom of the channel. It's sort of heading out of it now again. And it's sort of heading back to that GFC high, and I just wonder what sort of ceiling that'll be for the market, Michael. We saw it bounce off 6,000 points quite a number of times before it breached it. So I just wonder, whether it gets up there, and maybe in March, a bit of uncertainty around the elections, maybe that might be another catalyst for it to come off a little bit. So I think there's certainly a time to watch your shares and have a bit of a think about if you're going to get something back to cash, maybe when it gets up around that area might be the time to think about it.
Yeah. Oh, look, and I know we've spoken about it a couple of times. Certainly American markets have enjoyed a very strong rally over the last, 7, 8, 9 years. Our market's been a bit tricky, hasn't it? The financial stocks, which have sort of been the stalwart of our share market for a number of decades, have been under big pressure, so it's
with
really
the Royal Commission.
So it's really been that sort of jump back in mining and energy companies, and certainly to a lot of those IT companies. The Afterpays and the Appens and the Altiums. They're the ones that have really kicked on. But look, Dan, I mean, you've been in this game a long time. The sell decision's much harder than the buy decision.
The sell decision is much harder than the buy decision, and you've got to think about capital gains tax as well. But in the wash, I really think we saw with the GFC the amount of capital that could have been preserved, if the sell decision was made. So perhaps it's worth actually taking some money off the table and putting it back to cash and just see what goes where the market goes.
Profit's not a profit until it's in your pocket.
Exactly
as
right.
I say. I think it's one of Johnny Gouldson's favourites from memory. But
Another one, Michael, is good tops take time. And that US market, it's been up in that top for a while, so that might be another thing that sort of kicks in March, and seasonally that's an area for them to come off as well. So
look, absolutely. And just quickly too, Dan, we saw federal budget numbers yesterday, and look, the government, or the Liberal government at least, has finally got something to crow about. The deficit,
been a long time,
deficit over the financial year last year, 17-18, was 10.1 billion, so still a deficit, but much improved to what the forecasts were. Government debt sitting at around about $380 billion. So still a fair whack, but it's
nothing
only
between friends, Michael.
Absolutely, but it's still only around about 18-19% of GDP. So it's still very low when you compare it to, well, even the Americans, and certainly the Japanese and the Greeks, of course, have got a pretty high ratio as well. But some good numbers there. So the Australian economy bubbling along pretty well. Unemployment 3.5%, 350,000 jobs added last financial year. So things are moving along okay. But you're right, the elections and political instability is going to be a big thing over the next 6 months or so. So, well, no doubt, stay tuned to that.
No worries. I think that's about us.
We're done. Thanks for watching.
Michael. Cheers.